Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Enjoying the weather.
Yeah, it's a nice one today.
Yes, it is. All right. So basically, hopefully, we may have we may be joined by more of your classmates or not, but primarily the purpose of this lecture is just to show you the simple and straightforward backup and restore process, which is the gist of the assignment this week. Is it this week or next week? Next week, right? No, it's this week. I don't remember. So I'll wait a couple minutes, see if anyone else will join, and we'll just get this started and knocked out of the way. Let me check. Just to be sure here, because my brain is gone. Too much free time. All right. sym400. Oh, yes. It's due next week, but basically, there's only 2 assignments left in class. So since both assignments are open, right, let me see. You can always knock these out of the way, finish the class, and go on with something else. All right. I just want to double check. Yes. The data disk and storage assignment is due next Sunday, and the final assignment, the database optimization, is due on the 26th. So yes, 2 simple assignments remaining. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen and just walk through basically what I'm looking for as far as the assignment. As soon as I let everyone in, can you all see my SQL Server Management Studio query and Object Explorer? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for the backup is really pretty easy, but the first thing you need to do, you notice if you run the backup the way it is now, because the way Microsoft SQL Server is configured, it's only going to allow you to essentially create a backup. Well, actually, you can do it in more ways, but I would recommend not attempting to change the configuration of the instance. So I would navigate to that backup folder. If you remember where that was, on your C drive, program files, Microsoft SQL Server, your server instance name, MS SQL, and backup. And there's that original back file that you use to restore. And mine says 4.7 because I've been doing this a few times. So just delete that. And all that is just a backup file. So you're not deleting any of your data. As a matter of fact, you're going to save any of your programs. So I'll delete that from the folder, go back to SSMS. Now right click on your database, right? Go into task, go into backup. And it will launch the backup wizard. Right, it should default to that backup folder. Actually, I changed some things, so I'm going to remove that. So if it doesn't look correct, just click the add button. It will default to that backup folder. Click on your little search here, and now you have to give your backup a name. So someone else is wanting to come in. All right. So in this instance, I'm going to call it, and here's something that you do have to make sure: the venture works, and you do have to add the extension .bak, right? And click OK, and it will save that for you as far as your backup instance. And click OK, and you'll see that it's in your little backup to destinations area, and then just click OK. The backup
I'm
will
sorry.
run.
Can you do that again?
And okay, Courtney, 1 second.
Yeah, sorry.
And then it
Okay, so
should
I
tell you
deleted the
that
backup.
the backup completed successfully. All right. So the first thing you want to do before you launch the wizard, go to that backup folder, right? And delete any, well, you can actually rename it. All right. Let's say we don't want to delete our current backup. So we'll leave it in there. All right. So the first thing you want to do is right click on your database. Hold on. Someone else wants to join us. And remember, you're taking screenshots of all this. So right click, tasks, backup. All right. That will launch the wizard. It will default to that, well, it defaulted to the current backup. But if you try to run this, it'll fail because you're trying to back up over a backup. And essentially, you can add another backup. So you click on the add button, it will navigate to that folder. Click on your little, remember our little 3-dot search, click there, and basically just keep it to that folder because it won't, well, yeah. You can navigate to different folders, but I recommend just keeping there. All it's asking for here is just a name of your backup. So this one I'm just going to call backup. Backup.bak. Right? You give it a name, click OK, and then OK. And you see now we have two, well, basically two backups that we can run. So then we're going to, if we try to run this one, it'll error because that one's already there. So we're going to run this backup that's named backup, and then click OK. And of course, the way that SQL Server works and the way the instance is running, if there's a backup in there, it won't even allow you to create a new backup for that backup. It's a protection by SQL Server. So in that case, don't panic, just cancel, go back to the folder, delete the BAK file. Okay. Make sure it's deleted. Oops. I'm running a VM, so I have to be careful how I delete things. So delete the file. All right, it's gone. Or you can move it, just move it out of that folder. Remember, as long as you don't corrupt your database, hopefully your backup, well, when you have your backup, that's your safety net. All right, so back to SSMS, right click on your database, task, backup. It will still have our last backup, which we didn't create the other one. So just with this one, just click OK. And there you go. The backup is complete. It will usually take a short amount of time. And now we have our backup file in our backup folder. So you've taken screenshots of all that, and that's the backup portion of your assignment. Any questions? Easy, easy. All right, so restore is just as simple, and you have to be very brave when you do the restore because you're going to actually remove your database and restore it, which is actually a good practice. So let's say, and we saw this quite a lot, let's say for some reason, your database is corrupt. So you go in and you delete it. And that database has quite a bit on it. So it goes through the deletion process. And this is taking a little bit longer because it's on a VM. But don't panic. Actually, it takes longer because we have this new SQL window open. I'm just going to save these. All right. Yeah, my VM's running really slow, so. All right. So of course that failed. So let's try it again. Oh, no, my VM is not happy. Bear with me. Oh, of course the server is attempting to. All right, hold on. Hold on while I manage my virtual machine. See if I can get it to cooperate. All right. Okay. So now we're going to delete our database because we are certain that we can restore it if it'll delete it. There. So now, we have no database to work with. Well, if you remember, way back week 1 or 2, you can restore your database with that AdventureWorks BAK file. So right-click on Databases, Restore Database. All right, and then you click on Device, and then your little search window again, and then Add. Yeah, come on, VM. Hopefully your system is not running as slow as my VM, and I think it's because there's a server update running in the background. Yeah, so I'm trying to run. Oh, the update is not running, so it's just that the VM is having issues. So anyway, if you remember, once you click this add button, and hopefully mine will eventually resolve here, it'll show you that location. Ah, there we go. It took a while. So this will automatically navigate to your backup folder where we have our backup file. So you just highlight it, click OK. It will display that in your backup media area, and then OK. And it'll go through writing the resources to your backup area, and then finally your last OK, which should take a little bit longer. Hopefully it doesn't take forever. But the good thing about this, even if the restore fails or gives you a failure message, usually it's one of the processes that fail. And if your database is not corrupt, it should restore your database without any issues. And probably your restore will run a little bit quicker than mine is running. So we'll kind of wait for that to complete. And essentially you're taking screenshots of that as well. And once we get back to our SSMS, we should see that restore there, hopefully, if it doesn't fail. Now, if it does take too long, and SQL Server does have a timeout mechanism, just run it again. I mean, that's primarily, this exercise is to ensure that you know how to restore your database. and we got an execution error here, and our database came back suspect. So we're just going to run it again. And this is probably because of my VM. So if your database comes back like this, just run it again. Delete it. You'll have to delete it. And I can guarantee you that's because it took so long. Let's restart the SSMS. I know my server is having issues, so that's probably why I'm running into problems. So let's give it a, and I may have to restart the server, but let's try it again. But as long as we have that backup, that VAK file, you should be okay. Well, no, you will be okay to restore your database. So I'll try running it again. If you have any issues, just let me know. I mean, basically, you really won't need, well, you can always go back to the AdventureWorks download site and just download a good copy. But if you're taking 408, yeah, you'll definitely need the AdventureWorks and AdventureWorks data warehouse. But I'm assuming that I'm having issues because of my virtual machine. I cleared it off my laptop and decided to run it in a VM because it was actually running pretty good. So once again, to restore your database, right-click on Databases, Restore Database, which will launch the wizard. Select the device radio button, click the three-dot search, click Add. Your backup file should be there. Highlight it. Okay, okay, and then okay. And it looks like it shouldn't take more than like a few seconds. If it does, then there's an execution error. And it just probably means that there's an issue. So how many of you actually tried to run the backup and restore scenario and had issues like me? Anyone?
Yeah, I haven't tried mine yet.
You haven't tried? Okay. So it shouldn't.
I tried to delete it, but it wouldn't work. So I closed out SQL and then it started working again. So
yeah, if you have anything running,
I got it now.
anything not saved, it'll hiccup on you. That's Microsoft. So just close out everything, or close out or reboot, which I may have to do, and then just try to restore again. So mine is still failing, so I may have to go out and get the AdventureWorks. Let me reboot my VM first before I give up. All right, so that's rebooting. So that's essentially what I'm looking for the assignment. The first part is just, as I said on Tuesday, it asks you to write about why is it important to save your database or back up your database to a disk. Well, it is important because, I mean, you may have an issue with your backup like I'm experiencing. So it's that whole idea of almost like two-factor authentication. You should always, in industry, we're always tasked to back everything up to at least two places. So if you talk about that in the first part in a couple sentences, that's fine. And then run the backup, run the restore, take screenshots, submit it, put them in a Word doc, submit it, and the assignment is complete. Yeah, my server was in the middle of an update, so that's more than likely why I was experiencing some issues with the restore. And once again, if your restore fails, if the database comes back corrupt or suspect, or you get the warnings, just delete it and go to the AdventureWorks website, the download website, and just download it again, which I may do. So, okay, any questions?
All good.
All good? So I'll say it again, you really only have 2 assignments left, so you have tons of time to finish them. However, you can finish them at any time. Basically, if you finish them early, all that I ask is just, we only have this week, next week, and then that Tuesday of week 15. But if you're finished with the assignments, I'm actually that's the bonus. If you finish the assignments early, you won't have to check in to Cadley. I basically will give you participation for the rest of the semester. So then you will be done for the rest of the semester. That's only if you finish both early. And I haven't reviewed the optimization one. I won't review that until Tuesday next week. But if you read the instructions in LabCloud, it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing really complicated about that assignment. The optimizer, you'll have to research a little bit. There is some information in LabCloud. There's information on the Microsoft website. You won't need to run the optimizer. It really doesn't do any good for our database scenario. But basically, I just want you to write a little essay about the optimization performance, blah, blah, blah. So, and as I said, I'll go over that next week as far as the details of that assignment. Questions? How's everyone doing?
Awesome, nice and bored.
Yeah, nice and bored. I hear you there. This is a time for boredom, right?
Yeah.
Nothing
Stay
else can be said about it. But, well, and I guess all you can say is that at least you're in school now. What happens in the summer when you have no classes, you have nothing's open, you just have to sit at home and game and watch TV all the time?
Well, luckily I'm doing summer school.
Or unless you're taking summer school, which is going to be like this or fully online.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, well, I just wanted to go over those 2 aspects of the assignment. Yeah, as I said on Tuesday, I'm certainly not going to make it difficult for any of you to finish off the semester well in this class. I really appreciate all of your hard work. Just finish it to the end, and everyone will be fine. So, okay. All right, remember that assignment is actually not due until next week, but once again, I'll say again, if you finish the assignment, both assignments early, then I will give you participation points automatically for the last, remember we have actually 3 weeks. This week, next week, and then that Tuesday of the final week. Woohoo. And then you're into your summer. Okay. You're all so quiet. All right, then that's all I have for this little class adventure. Please take care, and I will see you all on Tuesday. All right?
Okay, sounds good.
Professor.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.